Thank you. So, yeah, I've been doing real estate for a long, long time. I'm second generational realtor. My dad started the business. I joined him. We were joined by my sister and then my mother. And then my sister went off and became a teacher. And my mother semi-retired. She liked being at home. And then it was Dad and I, and then I kind of went away a little, and then I came back again, but I was always still involved in the family business. Recently, I have become what I like to call the meat in the sandwich generation. I had 3 parents that I was taking care of, 2 in Canada, 1 in Nigeria. And I had 3 children that I'm taking care of, one of which is a patient at Sick Kids. And through the pandemic, this happened. So I have made many sudden trips down the highway from Kitchener-Waterloo to Sick Kids, and I can get there in 40 minutes flat. Well, yeah, I was going to say, don't tell anybody, okay? I was in the diamond lane. It's all right. So when I wrote the book, what I wrote was the platform that enabled me to dig deep and find that energy, find that capability to handle everything that comes up suddenly. For instance, during the pandemic, just before it hit, we got a visit from a loved aunt and uncle from Nigeria, and they closed the airports. They couldn't get home for almost a year. And they were at our house. So our family blossomed lovingly from the 5 we were to 7. And of course, anyone in real estate knows for the first 3 months of the pandemic, real estate couldn't happen. They shut it down. Didn't know how anything was transmitted. We weren't allowed to show houses. We weren't allowed to take strangers into other people's houses. So I pivoted and I sold 3 houses virtually. So, God closes the door, he opens the window somewhere. So beyond that, I had to come up with systems and processes that would allow me to take care of my 3 adults, my 3 children, still love my husband, because it was getting hard there, and still do business. So reaching back to the platforms that you're going to see or read in chapter 8, and I do hope you take a moment to understand that's written just as a platform, I added systems. And I'm happy to announce, I found out this morning, just before I left, that our team of 3 associates and 1 part-time assistant has just made platinum again for the 3rd year in a row. So, which is good. And that goes to reaching out for help and making sure you have your scheduling down pat and building in white space. I build in white space in the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And more so because when my dad was ill, he would fall. And no one would know what time he would fall. So inevitably in the middle of an offer, in the middle of a meeting, my mom would call and say, "Are you busy? Can you come help?" My office, thank God, was positioned only 3 minutes away from my parents. My house is about 4 minutes from my parents, and if I had to, I could steal a bike and get down there in 5. So it is very important that you take the time to schedule what you're up against. I get up every morning, I meditate, I pray, I lay out my day. I have 2 kids in university. We now have a 3rd guest in the house, our nephew from Nigeria, same university. So I have 3 kids that need transport to and from university, and then of course we have our little guy who surprised us with an appendicitis attack last night in the middle of 2 offers. And I'm here. We got him home this morning, got him comfortable. Dad's with him. That's the wonder of having a fantastic partner. And the phone hasn't rung, so I think he's doing good. Yeah. All I can say is each and every one of you, regardless of your situations, You got this. Get out of your box, surprise yourself. You can do it. If I can do it, you guys can do it. Okay? Any questions? Okay, how are we doing for time?
You have so much time. There must be questions on how are you smiling, poking jokes after being at the hospital all night?
Coffee! Yes. Everything's scheduled, including times with my kids. It's an appointment. Blend it in. Each and every one of my kids gets an afternoon with me or something that they want to do. So if it's little guy, it's soccer. If it's our middle child, it's shopping. And if it's our oldest daughter, it's TV time. Generally is the rule. Now that changes, but they all know in accordance with their schedule because we're into exams now. So they're heavy into studying, getting prep for exams and getting labs in. So at that point I say, what's your schedule and where do you want me? Well, I was lucky this week. Nobody wanted me. Except my husband.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Like it's very difficult to schedule sometimes, especially for parents, when something could go wrong. So how do you sort of like put your mindset around it?
It's the white space.
I get fully, it's
Yeah.
what you guys do.
It's never, for me, it's never guilt, it's priority, family first, right? God, family, business. So if I'm doing business and I'm in the middle of an offer and my dad has fallen, it's not necessarily going to take me away from business, right? I can just say, listen, I got to put a pin in this for 10 minutes, right? I'll go help them lift my dad up, make sure he's okay, assess him, and then if need be, then I'll call and say, listen, I got to make a trip to the hospital with my dad. My partner is going to take over. So my colleague Kirk or my colleague Sandy will give you a call. Yeah.
Just how you, these things in the hospital, they're very calm. And that's something my mother always said. She's a strong woman nurse. She would say, you know, he's at the hospital, he's with dad, there's no panic. I admire her.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So Dee, I noticed something about you, and
Uh-oh.
that is you have very fast recovery time from things. Maybe you could speak a little bit to that, because I think for a lot of folks, when something seemingly not so awesome is happening, the shock, the lingering, the struggle, that phase can last a long time, and that's when schedules go off kilt for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing you have a fast rebound time and maybe some strategy. Is there anything you can share today on how do you move so quickly from a hard thing back to work, from a hard thing back to other stuff?
Good question. And the answer is going to be a guess. It's going to be the quick recovery is in place because it needs to be in place.
So you have your intentions predetermined, and you just know this is how much you have for this, and you're choosing when you're going to shift into what's next.
Yes, and I also take time to fill that cup again. So I may stand in the shower, and quite honestly, I might be crying. But that's emptying out what needs to go and filling up the cup to tackle the next thing.
It's amazing.
And I will be honest, I did not have a quick recovery when Dad passed. It was a struggle. And what came to mind was a new normal. My friend, Rosie, who's sitting back there going, no, don't talk about me. She's the one who pointed out it was going to be a new norm. And she helped me kind of wrap my head around that. And I think we're getting there. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there.
You're amazing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, sorry, yes.
You mentioned that you instituted systems.
Yes.
Talked about the schedule. What else did you institute?
Downtime for myself, downtime for the family. So we like to camp and we like to kayak and canoe. So that is a scheduled week off. So every year, same time, just so that we're there for the Perseus meteor shower. And we go where there might be a wolf howl or an owl hoot. We get out, we get physical, and yeah, we do the rapids, which is fun. Anyone else? No? Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Us home so beautifully, Dee.